Hi everyone, this is Sumalata, Faculty of Zoology, Telangana Tribal Welfare Degree College, Nizamabad. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the structure of heart. Heart is a central pumping organ of the body. Means it can receives the deoxygenated blood from the different type of body parts and it can pumps into the lungs, and it can receive the oxygenated blood from the lungs and it can pumps into the different type of body parts, so that it is called as a central pumping organ of the body. It is a muscular structure and it is a pulsating structure, and it is a thick walled muscular structure. Okay, so the heart is situated in the mediastinum. Means this is the, see here, this is the mediastinum. The heart is situated in the mediastinum. Mediastinum is nothing but the space or the cavity between the two lungs. Here this is the right lung and this is the left lung. The between these two lungs a cavity is present. This cavity is called as a mediastinum. Okay, so here this picture shows the how the heart is arranged in the cavity of mediastinum. So this is the cavity of mediastinum. So heart is situated in the cavity of mediastinum. Okay, and the walls of the heart is consisted with three layers. Means the outer layer is called as epicardium, and the inner layer is called as endocardium, and the middle layer is called as myocardium. Okay, so the innermost layer is endocardium and the outermost layer is epicardium. The middle layer is myocardium. Myocardium is a muscular structure. Okay, so the outer layer epicardium is divided into two layers. Okay, so the outer layer in this epicardium, the outer layer is called as a fibrous layer and the inner layer is called as a serous layer. Okay, so this is the epicardium layer. So this is the outer layer. This is the epicardium, this is the myocardium, and this is the endocardium. The epicardium is a two-layered structure. So these two-layer structure, the outer layer is called as a fibrous layer. See here, this is the fibrous layer, and the inner layer is called as a serous layer. Okay, in this epicardium, the serous layer is also divided into two layers. Means it is also a two-layered structure. See here, this is the serous layer. So in this serous layer, the outer layer is called as a parietal layer and the inner layer is called as a vascular layer. So this is the serous layer. Serous layer is also a double layered structure. So in this structure, the outer layer is called as parietal layer and the inner layer is called as a vascular layer. Between these two layers, means the vascular layer and the parietal layer, a cavity is present. This cavity is called as a pericardial cavity. Okay, so this cavity is called as a pericardial cavity. This cavity is filled with the pericardial fluid. What it is? It is filled with the pericardial fluid. Okay, it can reduce the friction between the layers and it can help into the free movement of the heart. Okay, so this is the introduction of the heart. Now we are going to discuss about the external structure of the heart. Okay, so this is the external structure of the heart. See here, in the heart is generally divided into four chambers, that is atria and two atria and two ventricles. But in the external structure, we cannot observe these four chambers. Means externally it can looks like a pear shaped structure or it is looks like a sac like structure. Here we can observe only the depressions of the atria and ventricles. Okay, but here in the condition of the external structure we cannot observe the atria and ventricles. Here we can only observe the depressions of the atria and ventricles and the aortic arches. These are the aortic arches which can arise from the heart. Okay, so this is the external structure of the heart. Heart is the size of the heart is a clenched fist. Okay, closed fist, and the weight of the heart is about 300 grams. Okay, And let us discuss about the internal structure of the heart. Okay, a verticular structure, verticular section shows the internal structure of the heart. So at the verticular section means the LS of the heart, we can observe four chambers of the heart, that is atrias, two atrias and two ventricles. These are the two atrias and these are the two ventricles. Means this is the right atria, this is the left atria, and this is the right ventricle and this is the left ventricle. Here we can observe four chambers of the heart. Okay, so the internal structure of the heart shows mainly three parts, that is atria and ventricles, and another part is aortic arches. These are the aortic arches. Okay, so the internal structure of the heart, we can observe the three main parts. Those are atria and the ventricles and the aortic arches. These are the aortic arches. Okay, so let us discuss about the one by one, that is so let us discuss about the atrias. And these are the atrias. The upper two chambers are called as atrias. Here these upper two chambers, both two chambers are called as atrias. This is the right atrium and this is the left atrium. Okay, so the two atrias are separated by the interauricular septum. This is the interauricular septum. Two atrias are separated by the interatrial auricular septum. Okay, and the right atrium is larger than the left atrium. Okay, the right atrium is larger than the left atrium, and these atrias are called as receiving chambers of the heart. Means the right atrium receives the deoxygenated blood from the body parts, and the left atrium receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs, so that it is called as a receiving chambers of the heart. Okay, so in the right atrium it can receive the deoxygenated blood from the two veins, that is called as superior vena cava, and another one is inferior vena cava. So this is the superior vena cava and this is the inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava receives the deoxygenated blood from the dorsal side of the body, means the head region and the neck region and the hands region. Okay, it can receive the deoxygenated blood from the dorsal side of the body, and this is the inferior vena cava. We can this inferior vena cava receives the deoxygenated blood from the ventral side of the body, means the legs and the spinal cord. So these ventral side of the body, it can receive the deoxygenated blood. Okay, so the superior vena cava is also called as a precaval vein, and the inferior vena cava is also called as a postcaval vein. Okay, so the superior vena cava receives the deoxygenated blood from the upper side of the body, and the inferior vena cava receives the deoxygenated blood from the lower side of the body. Then what about the heart to heart? So here the coronary sinus is present. The coronary sinus is receives the deoxygenated blood from the walls of the heart. See here, these are the walls of the heart. So from these walls of the heart, the coronary sinus is receives the deoxygenated blood from the walls of the heart. So where the inferior vena cava opens into the right atria, there is there is a valve. So that valve is called as a eustachius valve. Where the inferior vena cava opens into the right atria, here it is guarded by a valve. This valve is called as a eustachius valve. And where the coronary sinus is opens into the heart, right atria, it is also guarded by a valve. It is called as a sebaceous valve. Okay, so where the inferior vena cava opens into the right atria, here it is guarded by a valve. It is called as a eustachian valve. And where the where the coronary sinus opens into the right atria, here also it is also guarded by a valve. It is called as a sebaceous valve. And where the superior vena cava opens into the right atria, here no valves are present. Okay, it can opens into the right atria freely. Okay, and let us discuss about the left atria. Left atria receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs, okay, through the pulmonary veins. A pair of pulmonary veins are opens into the right atria. It can receive the right atria receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs. Okay, so where the pulmonary veins opens into the left atria, here also there is no valves. Okay, so it is also freely opens into the left atria, means where the superior vena cava opens into the right atria, there is also no valves, and where the pulmonary veins are opens into the left atria, there is also no valves. Okay, but where the inferior vena cava opens into the right atria, it is also guarded by a valve that is called as Eustachian valve. Where the coronary sinus opens into the right atria, it is also guarded by a valve that is called as a Thebaceous valve. Okay, so next so this is the information about the atrias. And next we are going to discuss about the ventricles. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the ventricles. So these are the ventricles. The lower two chambers are called as ventricles. These are two ventricles. This is the right ventricle and this is the left ventricle. So the left ventricle is larger than the right ventricle. In the condition of the atrium, the right atrium is larger than the left atrium, but in the condition of the ventricles, the left ventricle is larger than the right ventricle. So these both two ventricles are separated by the interventricular septum. Okay, and the atriums and ventricles are separated by a thick muscular layer. That muscular layer is called as a coronary sulcus, and it is also called as a auriculoventricular septum. Okay, so this separation, this layer is called as the layer which divides the atriums and the ventricles. This layer is called as auriculoventricular septum. It is a thick muscular layer, and the both ventricles are separated by a thin muscular layer. It is called as a interventricular layer, and the right atrium opens into the right ventricle and the left atrium opens into the left ventricle. Okay, so where the right atrium opens into the right ventricle, so these openings are called as auriculoventricular openings, means the right atrium opens into the right ventricle and the left atrium opens into the left ventricle. This opening is called as auriculoventricular openings. And where the right atrium opens into the right ventricle, here tricuspid wall is present. See here, this is the tricuspid wall, and where the left atrium opens into the left ventricle, here bicuspid wall is called present. So this bicuspid wall is called as a mitral wall. Okay, so right atrium opens into the right ventricle, there is a tricuspid wall is present. Where the left atrium opens into the left ventricle, here bicuspid wall is present. These walls are made up of muscular flaps. Okay, so the inner surface of the ventricle, we can observe the muscular ridges. These muscular ridges are called as columnae carneae. Okay, so these the muscular ridges. Here muscular ridges are present. These muscular ridges are called as columnae carneae, and these columnae carneae are slightly extends into the ventricular walls. These extensions are called as papillary muscles. These are the papillary muscles. Okay, so these papillary muscles are extends into the these papillary muscles are extends into the thread-like structures. So these thread-like structures are called as cardia tendinae. Okay, these thread-like structures, see here, these are the thread-like structures, extensions of the papillary muscles. These papillary muscle extensions, the thread-like structures are called as cardia tendinae. This cardia tendinae attaches to the tricuspid walls. or bicuspid valves. So these cardia tendineae attaches to the tricuspid valve and here bicuspid valve. So it can helps the movement of the ventricular valves. Okay, these cardia tendineae helps to the movements. It can controls the movement of the ventricular valve. Otherwise after the pumping of the blood it can may enters into the these ventricular valves may enters into the atriums, so it can reduce these type of movement. Okay, so this is the use of the cardia tendineae. And another one, here the AV node is present at the inner right side of the and the posterior side of the internal septum or auriculoventricular septum at the edge of the right atrium. So this is the AV node, means auriculoventricular node. Okay, it receives the waves from the SA node. Okay, SA node is present at the right ventricle, at the corner of the right ventricle. It is the pacemaker of the heart. Okay, it can start the heartbeat. So from the SA node the waves can received by the AV node. Okay, AV node means auriculoventricular node. Okay, so from these node a specialized muscle fibers pass into the interventricular septum. These are the specialized muscles. These are passed from the AV node to interventricular septum. So these specialized fibers are called as a bundle of His. So these specialized fibers are called as a bundle of His. These are the right bundle branches, these are the left bundle branches. So the fibers are called as which are arises from the AV node is called as a bundle of His. These bundle of His divided into two branches in the ventricular septum. So one is left one is enters into the left atria and another one is enters into the one is enters into the left ventricle and the another one enters into the left right ventricle. Okay, so the bundle of His divided into two branches. So one branch enters into the left ventricle and the another branch enters into the right ventricle. So after the entering of the bundle of His, after the entering of the ventricles, it can divided as a minute branches or so many sub branches. So these extensions or these sub branches are called as Purkinje fibers. Okay, so these extensions are called as Purkinje fibers. These Purkinje fibers enters into the left ventricle valves and the right ventricular valves. Okay, so this is the information about the ventricles. And after the third part is called as aortic arches. Okay, so after the part that is called as aortic arches, these are the two aortic arches. Okay, so the two aortic arches are present in their structure of the wall, that is pulmonary arch and the another one is called as a systemic arch. Okay, so one is a pulmonary arch and the another one is a systemic arch. This is the blue color structure, it is called as pulmonary arch, and this is the red color structure, it is called as a systemic arch. These both are carried the blood from the heart. Okay, these both arches, these two arches, the pulmonary arch and the systemic arch, these both arches carries the receives the blood from the ventricles and it can discharge, it can pumps to the body part and the lungs. Okay, so here the blue color structure, it is a pulmonary artery or it is also called as a pulmonary arch. It can receive the deoxygenated blood from the right lung, it can pumps into the lungs. Okay, so the pulmonary arch receives the deoxygenated blood and it can pumps into the lungs, and the systemic arch, it can arises from the left ventricle and it can receive the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle and it can pumps into the different type of body parts. Okay, so where the pulmonary arch opens or arises from the right ventricle, here it is guarded by a tricuspid valve. This is called as a pulmonary semilunar valve. Okay, here where the pulmonary arch arises from the left ventricle, here a tricuspid valve is present. This tricuspid valve is called as a pulmonary semilunar valve, and where the right ventricle arises from the where the systemic arch arises from the left ventricle, here also a tricuspid valve is present. This valve is called as a aortic semilunar valve. Okay, so the systemic arch divided into different type of branches, and it can pumps the oxygenated blood from the heart to different type of body parts, and the pulmonary arch divided into two parts, and it can pumps the deoxygenated blood from the lungs, from the heart to lungs. Okay, so this is the structure of the heart. Okay, so uh, this is the structure of the heart, and the internal structure of the heart. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.